lumabas na mga pictures na yan na ang Palawan ay teritoryo po at posibleng ibalik po sa China. Sana doon man lang po sa ating mga kasama mga vloggers, kahit ikaw ay sumusuporta kay Duterte, kay Marcos, kay Aquino, kahit sino pa. Pero sana po pagdating sa issue ng ating soberanya, ng ating teritoryo, magkaisa po tayo. Ang Palawan ay sa Pilipinas at hindi po sa China. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Chair. I'm Dr. Richard Mata. Actually, sa advocacy ko po yung i-detect yung mga fake news. Kasi ang daming mga chismis, even celebrities, and this is one. Kasi ito po yung ginagawa ng ibang vloggers na para dumami po yung kanilang followers. If you create a statement na shocking, madaming magpa-follow sa iyo. So, I made a list of that. But one thing is you have to check the other news outlet like Inquirer, ABS-CBN, etc. Kung ganito kalaki yung news na yan, dapat lumabas din dito sa ibang media. Kung hindi naman lumabas, malaki talagang chance na fake news yan. So, dapat huwag mong i-share. So, naging automatic kasi dahil very extravagant yung claim, nag-share siya, nagbabayad na siya. So, again, it's still for me a fake news. Of course, Palawan is for Philippines only, forever.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Mr. Chair? Sorry. Aaron Peña, Old School Pinoy. Sir, kami, magkakaiba man kami ng sinusuportahan, ulitin ko nga yung sinabi niya. Pagdating sa bayan natin, hindi pwedeng agawin kung ano yung sa atin. Hindi po kami magtatry dito sa bayan. Hindi po kami makabagong makapili. Ang Pilipinas ay sa Pilipino. Hindi po natin dapat ito ibigay kahit kanino. Salamat po.
Thank you, sir. Jennifer.
Sir, permission to answer. Aside from the obvious, which everyone is, supports the Philippines, sir, kasi bata pa lang ang social media sa Philippines. So I believe that you really want to learn about how social media works. So I think, sir, we should also realize that there is what you call among different camps social media warfare. And one type of social media warfare is you sabotage the other camp by pretending to be that camp. For example, I am pro-BPM. I will write something that's anti-BPM, even if I'm pro-BPM, to make myself seem like fake news. I really believe, sir, na you believe that we should really understand how social media
Mama, I'm sorry to cut you, Mama. I'm sorry. But I do understand what you're trying to say.
Yes, sir.
But the simple question.
Sorry, nawala. Kainis naman. Sorry. Hello, Kiagos Kota Paimba. Thank you for coming to my live. Sorry, my live was Thank you for coming. How are you, my friend? How's your day?
nakita tayo, like sabi ni Sir Mark Gambo na isang vlogger din, I think we should do something about this. You have followings eh. Marami pong nanitiwala sa inyo. I think, I mean, it's unsolicited advice, baka it's good that we could write something about this para po sa ating bansa. Well, that's my opinion. And again, Mr. Chair, I would want to know sana with Facebook and TikTok, gaya ng sinabi ni Ma'am Pichi Paderna kanina, na meron silang automatic na hindi pa nire-report 99% out of the 4 million plus posts that has been taken down. Na-take down nila. I want to know kung yung mga ganitong klaseng posts ay kasama pa sa mga pinagbabawal ng platform nila. Again, Mr. Chair, and sa ating mga vloggers, thank you for being here and thank you for supporting our country. Like what President Bongbong said, na not a single inch of our country will be given. We will fight for our country. At ako naniniwala at least for sa mga batang tondo na nire-represent ko, walang kahit isang batang tondo na magkakalulong sa bansa natin. And I thank you. Let's all join together and let's fight for our country. Gaya nila Sir Marielle. Again, thank you Mr. Chair for the time.
Thank you, Representative Felicio. The next interpolator will be Representative Romeo Jacob. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's too late already in the day. My substantive or substantial questions will be asked in the next hearing. Pero meron lang po akong i-clarify. May I ask from Madam Tiambao Reyes? Is
Your
she
Honor?
still around?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you. A perusal of your blogs, palagi mong nilalagay sa iyong mga blogs na this post is protected by Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. Tapos, defend free speech and no to bullies. Would that be true?
Nasinulat ko po yun?
Yes.
Sure, nasinulat
In
ko
your
po yun?
blogs na nakita ko yung mga nakalagay sa blog mo. It's either this post is protected by Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution at saka defend free speech and no to police.
Your
Would
Honor,
that be true?
Your Honor, una po, wala po akong blog, so that's just my personal Facebook account. And yes, nilalagay ko po yun, yung disclaimer na yan, kasi nga po, medyo sensitive po ngayon tayo sa mga ganyang post, diba? So, I have to remind them, I have to remind the readers also that these are just opinions, these are just reactions, it's no news, and our free speech is protected by our
Mr.
Constitution.
Chair, simple lang po naman yung tanong ko eh.
Ano po yan, Your Honor?
Ang tanong ko lang naman po pwedeng sagutin ng totoo.
Yes.
Kasi ang tanong ko lang kung lahat sa iyong post may nilalagay ka na this post is protected by Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Constitution at saka defend free speech at saka no to bullies. Yes or no?
No,
Yun lang
sir.
po, I do not need an explanation.
Sir, no, sir. Not all, but most of my posts, may nakalagay po ganon. Lately, ha? Lately po, ganon. Pero sometimes ay nakakalimutan kong ilagay yun. But as much as possible, nilalagay ko po because that's also advice din ng mga kaibigan kong abogado.
Yes. May I know what Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Constitution all about?
It's about free speech, sir.
And would you know, Madam Kiambao, that free speech is not absolute?
I understand, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Now, matanong ko po ba, no to police, who are you referring to?
Marami po talagang bullies din sa online at
Sino po yung nagbubuli sa inyo? O ikaw ang nambubuli?
marami po ng mga kontra sa aming mga opinyon na binubuli rin po kami, pinagpo-post ng kung ano-ano. Gusto niyo, pwede pong banggitin yung mga pangalan nila? Apo. Like yung sina Rene Astudillo, La Bandera, sila yan, TPL La Bandera, TPL 3.
Ano po ang ini-spouse nila na laban po sa inyong opinion?
Eto po, sa akin po, tulad nung first hearing po, hindi ako nakarating dahil ako po ay nasa ibang bansa at dumating na po ako ng hapon. And then, kung ano-ano na po yung mga pinagsasabi at pati yung itsura ko, kung ano-anong sinabi nila na kesyo, kung ano-ano pong hindi maganda. And hindi ko na rin naman po pinatulan, pero yun nga po, no to bullies, diba? Parang, just because hindi po tayo tumikibo, yun kung ano-ano na nga yung pinagsasabi sa
Correct.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to confirm that we represent Miss Crescent Chu as our client, and the other bloggers and who are here present and who have their own counsel, but we collaborate with the said counsel, Your Honor.
Thank you. Representative Paduano.
Mr. Chairman, can we ask Attorney Marielle? Sir, can you mention all the names that you represent as counsel? As in, for the information of everyone, si Attorney Marielle was already entered his appearance in the previous hearing, wherein he was allowed to speak for on behalf of the clients during that hearing. Now, just to reiterate, Attorney, sir, pag-mention po kasi we have invited at least 18 bloggers, and present as of today is only 7 or 8 mentioned by the ComSec. So who are those bloggers being represented as counsel by former Secretary Bello? Yes, Your Honor. As I stated earlier, we represent Miss Crescent Chu. And in addition, Your Honor, as collaborating counsel, we have the following bloggers, Your Honor. Miss Marielle Reyes, Miss Trixie Angeles, Miss Joy Cruz, Miss Aaron Peña, Mr. Ahmed Aglinawan, Miss Edel Pineda Garcia. That's all, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, how many of them are present? Can you count ComSec? Ilan ang social media personalities na present in your record? Out of 18. Correct. My estimate was 8. Representative Paduano.
Thank you, Chairman. Anyway, out of the 8 mentioned by former Secretary Attorney Bello, ilan po yung nandito ngayon? 8? No, the client being represented by Attorney Bello. They are 7, Your Honor. Present today. Yes, together with our client, Ms. Crescent Chu. And those absent today, out of 8 ata you mentioned 8 names. In addition to our client on record, Ms. Chu, Your Honor, we are collaborating with the council, with their council, Attorney Gonzales. They are only 6 present this morning, Your Honor. And who are those absent today? Pag-mention na po yung absent. Para ma-check lang po sa record, dun sa invitation na present to them, kung ano yung status na. We only represent, Your Honor, those in collaboration, only those who are present this morning, Your Honor. Only those? Yes, Your Honor. So, that's, Mr. Chairman, that's a record that they will only represent those present today. Yes, Your Honor, those present today. Only in collaboration with their council on record. And then, sir, hindi ko pa ma-remember if the council of those bloggers have already entered their appearance during the previous I understand there are several names you mentioned, but what I'm asking is there a counsel for these vloggers na nandito ngayon?
Wala, Your Honor.
You only represent them.
Yes, Your Honor. Wala kami. Only those present this morning ang i-represent namin. Only in collaboration with the recorded counsel, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But anyway, Chairman, just for the record, with regards to all those invitees and those also, and those resource persons that was issued was El Suprema, we'll discuss this later, Mr. Chairman. But that's not to support those resource person that was issued civil service and Suprema. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We'll now proceed to tackle the... Yes, please state your name for the record, please. Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I'm Dr. Richard Mata. I'm one of the social media. I have counsel, Your Honor. Her name is Attorney Facing Son.
Good morning, Your Honors. I am here to assist Dr. Richard Mata. I am attorney facing sa Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll now proceed to, before that, may I acknowledge the presence of Representative Dela online and Representative Sia Alonso Adjo, who is present. Please state your name.
Mr. Chair, I would like to I would like to inform the Honorable Committee the presence of my counsel with me to be put on record.
Okay, your counsel, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I am Attorney Mark Anthony and Manuel, counsel for Miss Elizabeth Joey Cruz. Thank you.
Okay, noted. We'll now proceed. The first issue that we've tackled is the social media personality, Representative Pablo Ortega.
Sorry. Siguro po, Mr. Chair, maganda po na kunin din yung ginagamit nilang mga pangalan, yung mga vloggers, kasi may parang account name po sila sa screen name or aliases to be included po sa record as kasi may attendance po sila as their individual names. Maganda po siguro makuha din po yung
Subject, we should then do it. Para hindi na natin isa-isahin pa. Can you approach the social media personalities? What are the names that they're using in their blog? Are there any statements from the social media personalities? Do you have a leader or a spokesperson? Yes, proceed. I give you 2 to 3 minutes for a statement.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Your Honor. This would be my individual statement. I am appearing before your esteemed committees upon your invitation as a resource person and to give due honor to and respect to our public institutions. Ako po si Marielle Reyes or MJ Kiambao sa Facebook. Una, labanan po natin ang fake news sa pamamagitan ng paglalabas ng mas maraming reliable information mula sa iba't ibang ahensya. Pangalawa, and more importantly, paigtingin po natin ang edukasyon ng bansa. Gawin natin mas matatalino ang mga Pilipino so they themselves can more easily decipher what is true from what is false. And I think everyone here sa mga kasama ko sa social media support the efforts of the Tricom. We agree that free speech and freedom of expression must be protected and that fake news, disinformation must be eradicated. These are our common grounds that unite us. We wish Tricom every success. Yun lamang po sa ngayon ang aking mainunungkahi. Sakaling may mga issue sa mga susunod na pagkakataon ukol sa free speech, anti-corruption at disaster relief operations kung saan mas doon po ako linya at doon yung mas marami kong maiaambag ay handa po ako makipagtulungan. Muli maraming salamat at magandang umaga po sa lahat.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes. Just a reminder to the members, after the statements or discussing the issues, we will proceed to the interpellation. As usual, we have a rule for those who would like to interpolate. Please have your names listed for a proper and orderly hearing. Are there any other statement? Can you limit it to 2 minutes? Okay, please state your name.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Dr. Ethel Pineda Garcia, 64 na taong gulang at isang manggagamot. Noong ako po ay pinadalhan ng imbitasyon na dumalo sa unang hearing, kung saan ako po ay magiging isang resource person tungkol sa fake news.
Ito lapit po yung mic. Reminder po the members and resource persons, may problema po tayo sa audio. So when you speak, please ilapit lang po yung microphone.
Salamat po. Nang ako po ay pinadalhan ng imbitasyon na dumalo sa hearing kung saan ako po ay magiging isang resource person tungkol sa fake news at ang pagpondo ng mga pogo at narcos, ay nasurpresa po ako dahil sa mga sumusunod. Hindi po ako gumagawa o nagsusulat ng news o balita. Ako po ay nagkokomentaryo lamang sa mga nababasa ko. Sa aking pagkakaunawa ay maroon tayong kalayaan na sabihin ang ating mga opinyon sa mga pangyayari at sa ating kapaligiran ayon sa saligang batas. Wala po akong kaalaman sa pogo at narcos. Ako po ay nag-aral ng mahabang panahon. Nalalaman niyo naman po kung gaano kahaba ang pag-aaral ng medisina at pagkuha ng espesyalisasyon sa akin pong panig ay 2 beses po ako nag-specialize at pag-practice ng medisina sa hangad na mabuhay ng marangal na di umaasa sa iba, lalo na sa masamang pinanggalingan ng pera. Sa aking pananaw, at ito ay sinabi ko sa unang sagot ko sa committee, ay hindi ako karapat-dapat na resource person dahil sa wala akong alam dito at kung may issue tungkol sa kalusugan, tulad ng sinabi ko, ay handa akong tumulong sa gaano man na aking makakaya. At ito po naman ay ginampanan ko habang tayo ay nagkakaroon ng pandemya sa COVID. Kasama po akong dumulog sa Korte Suprema dahil nais ko pong malinawan kung ano nga ba ang dapat. Nananalig po ako na ang batas ay dapat sundin ng lahat. Ang aking pamumuhay ay simple lang. Wala po akong kalayaan. Ang buhay ko ay itinulong ko sa pag-aalaga ng aking pamilya bilang breadwinner sa mahabang panahon. May anak akong nangangailangan ng special na alaga at may ama akong 95 years old na umaasa sa akin. Kahit ako ay mag-isa na ngayon sa buhay, ay nagsisikap akong itaguyod sila sa abot ng aking makakaya sa malinis na paraan. Wala po akong kapangyarihan
about 7 years na. So yes, I have some experience na about social media. At umabot na din ng about 3 million yung ating total followers. I understand that I have been invited to this forum as a resource person in aid of legislation. So here's po my 2 cents. Agree po ako sa inyo, Your Honors, na dumadami na po ang mga fake news online. Karamihan ay mga clickbait yung gumagawa ng fake headlines para mapunta ka sa online shops dahil may commission sila to earn or just to gain more followers. Meron ding mga intentional na fake stories in order to destroy someone's reputation. Do we need to make a fake news law? In my opinion, may Cybercrime Prevention Act law na po tayo, which nasa inyo na po yan if you need to amend it. Noong March of 2024, isang former senator na emeritus celebrity ay nag-file ng cyber libel sa isang YouTuber dahil sa mga malicious and fake stories about them. Based on that law, cyber libel is defined as the act of defaming or making false statements about someone online through computer system or similar means. So I do believe that the law is already there and functioning as it is. And I want to suggest is something like a KBP or a Kapisanan ng Broadcasters ng Pilipinas, an NGO body that is neutral about politics or religion, that should be composed of trustworthy social media practitioners so we can police ourselves formally. Such NGO body is where we can ask assistance regarding a certain controversial post. Such NGO body can also assess if it's freedom of speech or fake news. Such NGO body can issue warnings and reminders to the influencers in question if seen necessary. That is what we lack, because what we have now are just AI that detects posts that are against community standards. And usually if you report an influencer, it's hard to talk to a person in charge, but what we have are automated reporting system only. I do believe if we can make this kind of neutral body with the guidance of KPP, we can lessen the fake news, solving the issues without much hassle of filing cases in the court. But of course, for extreme cases, a person can still use the cybercrime law, which is already available. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Are there anybody else who would like to make statement on the social media personalities?
Chair.
Yes. Are you a blogger also?
Yes po.
Okay. Make it short, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Mark Gamboa po, political blogger. Pangatlong appearance ko na po ito sa Tricom. Gusto ko lang po masaya po ako na nakasama na po natin ngayong umaga. Ito po mga kaibigan po natin sa DPS side, lalo na si Miss Crescent Chu. Yan. Gusto po. Ako po, gusto ko lang po sabihin bukod po sa fake news. Kasi po dahil sa ating mga vloggers na nagkaroon po ng culture of hatred, toxicity sa social media. So para sa akin maganda po yung pagtitipo na ito na nakakasama-sama po lahat para kung pag-usapan po yan at makita po ng publiko naman na pwede naman magkaiba ng politika kaming mga vloggers, pero at the same time ay pwedeng may respeto pa rin sa isa't isa. And also, kasi po nasanay na po ang mga kababayan po natin sa kultura na porket online, kung ano-ano po yung sasabihin doon po sa mga personalidad o sa mga tao, mga masasakit na salita. Ang maganda nga po dito, nandito po tayo ngayon, nandito yung mga vloggers from different political camps. Kung meron silang gustong sabihin sa mga, for example, kay General Torre dito, pwede po nilang sabihin na harapan po. Hindi po yun sa social media lang. At pwede po nilang face-to-face po sabihin. Kasi po minsan po, ang nangyayari po dahil social media, sapagkat toxic po doon na po. Kung mas tumatapang po yung mga kababayan po natin na hindi naman kaya sabihin face-to-face. Yun lang naman po. Thank you po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we'll now proceed with the social media platforms. We have here representative from TikTok, Ms. Pichi Padella.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
You now have the floor.
Mr. Chair, we actually have a video that we'd like to share with the Honorable Committee. We'd like to request the committee secretary to play the video, please.
Comsec, is the video ready already? Then we'll get back to the social media platform. While the video is being prepared, we proceed to the independent media organizations. Do we have
Your Honor. Thank you po.
And of course, to the Commission, do you have any statement?
Sir, I would like to make a statement. First of all, thank you for inviting the Presidential Communications Office in this very big fight against fake news. The Presidential Communications Office is pleased to speak at the Joint Committee hearing the Committee on Public Order and Safety, Information and Communications Technology and Public Information. The issue of fake news, illegal gambling, deep fakes, pornography, hate speech is the biggest fight right now of our generation. It destroys the very fabric of our society, and we have to protect our children not only from of fake news, but all these bad things that we see in this technology platform that we have. But more on the bloggers, we should concentrate the regulation on the platforms. The platforms like Meta, TikTok, YouTube are foreign platforms. They do not have a base here. When you complain for these posts that we can take down, it takes a long time. So we have to focus on the platforms first of all to self-regulate them. If you want self-regulation, or maybe come up with an operation system between the PCO, DOJ, and the DICT to identify these fake posts, to identify fake information. You see, what's happening to us is we are being divided online. It's very polarized. And yet, it's Filipinos and Filipinos fighting each other. It is not good for our country to see our countrymen being divided by hate speech, by pornography, that's very easily accessed by our generation. You know, I was talking to the West Philippine Sea earlier about communicating the West Philippine Sea issue to our countrymen. I said never again that the Philippines will lose any part of our country, just like what happened in Sabah. In the Sabah issue in the 1960s, if you look at it, Sabah was owned by the Royal Sultanate of Sulu for a long time. The Malaysians were paying rent to the Philippines. We tried to get it and claim it as our own. But what did the Malaysians do to us? They pitted Filipinos against Filipinos. They supported a Muslim secessionist movement in the South, using religion and race or against each other. Filipino Christians, Filipino Muslims fighting each other. So eventually, because they divided us and eventually conquered part of our territory, we lost Sabah. And the information, imagine if Sabah is like as rich as Mindanao, even probably richer than Mindanao. The Petronas towers were built because of the minerals and properties of Sabah. It's happening again. This is happening, but now a foreign actor using fake news to destroy each other. So what we want on the PCO side, urge Congress to join our digital crusade against combating fake news by strengthening our laws, such as the Cybercrime Prevention Act, and introducing internationally accepted policies and standards for content moderation on social media. I respectfully encourage our honorable lawmakers to consider the framework of the Digital Services Act, a recently adopted EU regulation which prevents illegal and harmful activities online and the spread of disinformation while still ensuring that the freedom of expression is upheld. The danger right now, sir, the greater danger right now, aside from fake news, is deep fake, wherein you put a person's face on another person. There were several complaints raised with the PCO that said, "Sir, tignan mo naman, may mga known personalities recruiting on scam, advertising, mga scams. Yung mga OFW natin, nai-scam. Dahil nakalagay yung boses ng isang kilalang personality o isang kilalang negosyante, pero hindi naman totoo yun.
Imagine if you put the head of the Comelec Commissioner doon na ang nagsasabi, alam mo, fake din. It is a national security concern that we really have to fight, not against each other, but collectively, we fight together. We fight as one. Because you know, the fight against fake news should be prioritized. We said before, right, it was the fight against illegal drugs. But in this generation, the fight against fake news, deep fakes, they bring so many social media ills. Look, we now live in two worlds, the cyber world and the real world. The children right now spend more time on the cyber world. And if you give them constant misinformation, if you give them constant lies and negative news, what will happen to the next generation of Filipinos? We will forever be divided, just like what's happening in the United States. It's now happening in our country. It's so hard now to reach out to the yellows, to the greens, to the reds, or wherever political camp you belong to. What we need to do is to unite. Look at what happened, example, to Congressman Rodante Marcoleta. Pinagbumura siya. Nilait-lait ang kanyang religion. Tama ba yun? And yet, there's no regulation. There's no regulation. There's no punishment. So, on the part of PCO, we're trying to come up with an operational system wherein the DICT, the Department of Justice, and PCO should come up together to take down all these posts we consider national security concern, and posts that divides Filipinos and spreading of fake news, and also the fight against illegal online gambling on the internet. It's not just fake news. There's so many ills there. But of course, with technology, there's good and there's bad. It can be a force of good. But we make sure that online, the voice of truth should be louder than lies. It should always be louder than lies. Because now, a lie told 1,000 times drowns out the truth. We don't know what the truth is anymore. So we make sure, you, as PCO, we make sure that in PCO, our foundation are truthful facts. I urge everybody here, let's get our acts together. We are not the enemies. We should stand together. The enemy is fake news. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Sec. Ruiz. Before we continue, may I acknowledge the presence of Deputy Speaker David J.J. Suarez, and online we have Honorable Nelson Dayangiran, Honorable Raul Daniel Manuel, and Honorable Celso Rehencia. We will now proceed with the interpellation. As I've said earlier, to have an orderly hearing, may I request all the members who would like to ask questions to have your names listed. Please state your name. You have something to say?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I would just like to inform the committee that Ms. Sasrogando Sasson was not recognized and was kicked out of the Zoom link that she was provided for.
Unfortunately, ma'am, the Zoom meeting is exclusively for members only. Hindi po para sa hearing yun. The Zoom meeting is for members and the committee secretariat staff lang po. So if she's here in Manila, then she can attend the
we did not provide anyone, any resource person, a Zoom link. So most probably it was leaked by a staff. Remember, we don't know where the source came from. But again, unfortunately, sad to say we cannot accept that because I reiterate what my previous statement that it is exclusive for members of Congress only or rather of this committee and committee secretariat. Okay, so please take note. We will proceed with the we acknowledge the presence of Honorable Mr. Judicial. We will proceed with interpellation. First on the list, Representative Tanti Marcoleta. You have the floor.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. What I would like to say is not an interpellation. Maybe I will just make a very general manifestation, Mr. Chair, because up to now, I am not yet sure how how can we address this looming problem that the country faces in relation to fake news and deepfakes, false narratives, and false information in the face of certain gold standard set by our Supreme Court. This gold standard, Mr. Chair, came in the form of decisions. May I just cite at least four of them, Mr. Chair, for seeing these concerns that the conduct of public men, people in government, and how criticisms can be hurled against them and how should they respond to these criticisms. I think these are very important standards, Mr. Chair, in the wake of our desire to probably make laws in relation to free speech. The first one, Mr. Chair, is the case of Mr. versus Office of the Ombudsman, 303 Philippines 319. And I quote this, a public official, or especially an elected one, should not be onion-skinned. Strict personal discipline is expected of an occupant of a public office because a public official is a property of the public. Please look upon to set the example how public officials should correctly conduct themselves, even in the face of extreme provocation. The second standard, or the second case that reiterates this standard, Mr. Chair, is United States versus Bustos, 37 Philippines 731. And I quote this, the interest of society and the maintenance of good government demand a full discussion of public affairs, complete liberty to comment on the conduct of public men is a scandal in the case of free speech. The sharp incision of its probe relieves the abscesses of official tone. Men in public life may suffer under a hostile and unjust accusation. The wound can be assuaged with the balm of clear conscience. A public officer must not be too skilled with reference to comment upon his official acts. The third one, Mr. Chair, is Sason versus CA 325 Philippines 1053. On this point, the rule is that defamatory remarks and comments on the conduct or acts of public officers which are related to the discharge of their official duties will not constitute libel if the defendant proves the truth of the imputation. And the last one, Mr. Chair, is De Leon versus People 776 Philippines 701. And I quote this, while petitioners' declarations may be offensive, they are not actionable by themselves. Being sensitive has no place in this line of service, more so when allowing otherwise has the potential to create a chilling effect on the public. Mr. Chair, why am I stressing this gold standard as it should be enunciated by some important decisions of the Supreme Court? Because as public men, as public servants, I have cited an example earlier ipakita nila tayo as transparent as we can to these people. People can easily distinguish na wala yan, sinungaling yan. Like, yun lang ang gusto kong maging karanasan ng tao kahit na siguro hindi ko na siya idemanda o pagalitan o gumawa ng action against him. It is enough that people would not listen to him anymore. That he will be rendered useless and people will just judge him as, you know, as a liar, somebody who peddled something that cannot be accepted by people. To me, that is already a consolation, Mr. Chair. So kung ating pong mga vloggers ay maaaring napapasobra po yung kanilang pag-criticize sa atin, talagang minsan po ay ganun. We have to strike a balance between the public affairs, between the public issues that must be deliberated completely and in the light of an extensive discussion, the public affairs of government. We have to strike a balance between the importance of these issues discussed in public and the hostile accusation that might arise from this. Yun po yung gusto ko po. May mga batas naman po tayo once they attack us on a private side. Ang sinasabi po ito very easily that could constitute libel pagka-personal na po. Kaya po nung tinawag niya po ng demonyo o kaya yun na po yung personal na po yun. It's up to me to act. Pagkagamitin ko pa po yun. Pero sa akin po ay parang ano na lang. Katulad po nung is nakaraan na pagdinig po, hindi ko makalimutan, isang abogado pa naman yun na nagbablog po na sinabi niya na huwag kayong maniwala sa pagulo at panlilig lang ni Marcoleta. You were here, Mr. Chair and members, nung tanongin ko po siya, ano po yung basya ninyo na ako po'y nandun lang. Wala po siyang naisagot ng kahit ano. He is a lawyer and he was allegedly teaching in a very reputable law school. So yun po, Mr. Chair, pwede ko po siyang demanda ng pwede ko po siyang patispar. Naisip ko lang po na pwede kong gawin niya because as a lawyer, ay mali-mali po yung ginawa niya because we have our own code na talaga pang pinagsisikapan namin itaguyod sa mga members po ng Philippine Bar. So meron po tayo mga batas na nuniliran, Mr. Chair, may libel, ito na po yung maring matispar po yung mga ganawa namin na members ng Philippine Bar na nasusobrahan na po yung sinasabi nila. Pero sa mga vloggers po na maaaring kini-criticize tayo because our conduct is public. Yung pagsisibi natin is public. They need some kind of immediate. Nakikita po nila tayo that we should be as transparent and accountable as we can be. Sa akin po ay binibigay ko na lang pong isang karapatan para sa kanila. Huwag lang po sana yung sumobra po na maging personal na po ang pangyayari. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Paalala po sa lahat, pakilapit po yung mikropono dahil may problema tayo sa audio. Medyo mahina po. The next to interpolate, Representative Rods Gutierrez. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I understand we have quite a lot of topics to discuss today. And first of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to our research persons for attending after this great time that they have not. Although we have to recall that twofold po yung privilege speech ni Congressman Barbers. On one hand, we have the proliferation of fake news of the vloggers na binabanggit. And I'm sure we'll be getting to that at a later time. But one thing that we'd like to discuss is also that might have been forgotten is the other privilege speech of the Honorable Barbers regarding fake news in China. So this is something that we wanted to highlight in the previous hearings. However, wala po yung the social media platform was involved. Luckily today, we'd like to thank them for their appearance. Andito po yung ByteDance, owners of TikTok. So we could now discuss this issue thoroughly. To begin po, I'd like to direct my questions to the good spokesperson of Coast Guard, Commodore Dela. Commodore Dela, magandang instead of just limiting yung discussion sa West Philippine Sea, parang expanded na po yung kanilang claim. Lately, their claim now is that nagsasabi na ang China ay nagmamayari at namamahala sa Palawan for a period of 1,000 years, saying Island. Ito rin daw yung basis for the island to return to China. Are you aware po, sir, of this post in relation to yung West Philippine Sea issue natin?
Mr. Chair, you can answer it.
Yes, sir. The Philippine Coast Guard is aware of the social media post that is circulating in the different social media platforms.
Mr. Chair, I think the committee secretary, just for the information of the body, could we, is the committee secretary prepared to flash this figure on po? Para lang makita natin. Let's not give it dignity, we will not play the video, but just to have a parang may idea lang po ang ating mga mamamayan kung ano po yung tsura nitong post. Ito po yun. Is this the same post that you're referring to, Marielle?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Chair, with your permission, I wish to bring attention to this honorable committee these screenshots showing an individual defending China's false claims over Palawan online. These comments were captured by the Facebook page Palawan Daily as part of efforts to debunk these false claims. This is a disturbing example of blatantly fake claims which are now spreading across the internet. While these claims are clearly ludicrous, there is no telling how many people may believe it or what kind of effect such belief could have. What is clear, however, is that there are individuals or entities who consciously created this content, clearly aiming to undermine our national sovereignty. So as you can see po, aside po sa post na yung sa right side po, yung lumalabas actually parang video po siya, but then even in the comments, there are people defending this. And I think it would be hard for us to determine the authenticity of these persons, Chinese na po yung characters, that this an issue po ng fake news in relation to the West Philippine Sea is that some of the actors are beyond our territory po, no? So that's another aspect that would add complexity to the regulation of these things. But we'll go into that po siguro with TikTok later on. So, Commander Marielle, sa buong panahon mo po sa PCG, nakarinig ka na ba ng parehong balita na kinaklaim ng China ang Palawan? Kailan po ninyo unang nalaman na may kumakalat ng balita na sinasabing pag-ari ng China ang Palawan?
Well, Mr. Chair, this is the first time that I heard about this, about the social media posts. That kind of claim has never been done before by the People's Republic of China. This is their new narrative right now.
Ang dating narrative po nila ay simply limited to the free surface features in the West Philippine Sea po. But never have they claimed Palawan as having their ownership.
Yes, sir.
At kung nakita po ninyo yung comment, kasama rin po yung isang comment doon, kasama na rin daw yung Luzon Island na inhabited daw ng China at pagmamayari po nila. Is that the first time for you to hear this claim also?
Yes, sir.
Ano po ba ang, well, if this is the first time, then we obviously, for us, walang claim, walang basis naman po yung claim. Upon hearing this po, I know this is now, ano po yung magiging reaction ng PCG in relation to this?
Well, the reaction, sir, of the national government is that we, as the National Historical Commission, that directly debunk such historical claim of the People's Republic of China or whoever spread that fake news or misinformation. The position of the Philippine government is saying that Palawan and the entire island of Luzon has long been part of the Philippine archipelago.
So, ang usual response po natin is to fight it with information, proper information naman.
Yes, sir.
But this does not take away the fact na this would be circulating pa rin online, sir, no?
Yes, sir.
Ang PCG po ba ay active in requesting for takedown of such information sa social media platforms? In this case, for example, TikTok.
Yes, sir. In coordination with the Philippine Information Agency, sir.
Sir, can you please give us an idea po kung ano yung proseso po ng PCG in relation to? Kasi the way that I see it, although lahat po tayo ay biktima nito, the agency most involved would be the PCG po, no? Kayo rin ang parang ito ay attack sa inyo because this would be your area of responsibility. Ano po yung process po ninyo when trying to debunk these claims po?
Well, especially if it concerns our operations, sir, that clearly countering our factual narrative. We
the West Philippine Sea.
This is part of our evolving role right now, especially that the national government is supporting the Transparency Initiative to make the Filipino people understand and be aware of what's happening in the West Philippine Sea. And the only way that we can be more successful in creating awareness and right information to the Filipino people is also to safeguard the spread of fake news, or to have it prevented to proliferate in the social media platforms.
I see. Generally po kasi, Commodore, ang pagkakaintindi po namin sa PCG, no, ay napaka-physical po dapat ang ating role, no? Kayo po talaga ang defenders of the West Philippine Sea as our internal waters there. Kayo po ay nandun, kayo po ay talagang watching over yung mga transgressions. Ngunit ngayon, it seems to be transgressions are also appearing in the cyberspace. Ano po yung epekto po nito sa ating soberanya? Kasi isa iba po ang minsan sinasabi nila, these are just words. And this would not really affect, it should not affect us, but do you stand by that sentiment po?
You know, sir, one of the main reasons why President Bongbong Marcos, the National Task Force West Philippine Sea, supported the Transparency Initiative, because he basically inherited a nation wherein Filipino people, right after he assumed the presidency, there's a very limited information that Filipino people learned about the West Philippine Sea. From 2016 to 2022, there are very small portions of information that we told the Filipino people. And for the president to only deliver his commitment of not surrendering a square inch of our territory to any foreign power, he has to get the support of the Filipino people. And the Filipinos will not be supporting our fight in the West Philippine Sea if they do not know what's happening in the West Philippine Sea. So with the transparency effort that we're doing now, as we can now see from different surveys, more Filipinos are being aware of what's happening in the West Philippine Sea. And that's, you know, as what Justice Carpio said, our fight in the West Philippine Sea is intergenerational. It is important for the younger generation, especially, to understand our fight in the West Philippine Sea. That's why our fight for fake news and misinformation is very important for us to sustain our fight for sovereignty.
Thank you, sir. I would agree with that po, no? As mentioned actually by Secretary Ruiz, for example, ako po, generation namin, we're not aware already of the Sabah issue. And I fear that might be what will happen, no, with the West Philippine Sea with this continued disinformation. So we are glad to know po na at least the PCG, despite your mandate being the actual physical defense of the West Philippine Sea, physical monitoring and the regulation of the area, we're glad to know po na that you're evolving. Unfortunately, it should be that case. We will try to do our best here in this committee to combat at least yung cyber aspect of that front. Pero in relation to that po, Coder Marielle, to be the Honorable Chairman, we really have to make all of these actions to counter this map expansion tactics in China, whether it's in the actual or the cyberspace po. Pero do you have any recommendations po in relation to this disinformation front of the West Philippine Sea?
Well, I think, sir, it's important for us to make the bloggers or any other social media influencers to understand the limitation of freedom of speech, especially if it has something to do with national security concern. Sometimes it's very easy for bloggers or any social media influencers to say that West Philippine Sea, we do not have bases, that the Philippines is the one escalating the tension, those kind of things. They can hide from the constitutional freedom of speech, but again, that concerns our national security. So if there is something that the Congress can do, that is to make sure that we have to prevent them from hiding from that constitutional right, and
conflicts between the US, the Coast Guard, and also yung counterpart po natin sa China. Sometimes we've adopted the strategy of having journalists on board no? But what we've heard is that when they were posting to their personal social media accounts, sometimes they would block out the audio, or sometimes they would limit po its proliferation in the algorithm. And I just wanted to hear po siguro from you, Caller Marielle, if you had any similar experience with this.
Well, for other social media platforms, we don't have any experience about suppression of the reach of the audience, sir. As I said, according to some journalists, their main concern is only TikTok, sir.
TikTok lang po tayo.
Yes, sir.
So with that, Mr. Chair, and I understand generally we want to compartmentalize the topics, but if I still have some time, siguro a few questions po kay TikTok, Mr. Chair. Tapos po yung oras, Chair. A few more interjection questions, a few questions na follow-up lang po. So, Mr. Chair, we'd like to acknowledge po, we'd like to, if the Honorable Chair would acknowledge po yung representative ng TikTok.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair, and good morning to the Honorable Committee. I just wanted to clarify that I'm here to represent TikTok and not ByteDance. And actually, Mr. Chair, if you would allow, would we be able to play the video that we had prepared for today that we were hoping to show the Honorable Committee this morning?
We will now proceed with the presentation, and afterwards, maybe you can answer some questions from Representative Gutierrez. Consent, please play the video.
Our apologies, Mr. Chair. This video is supposed to have audio accompanying it. But if we have limited time, we're happy to take the questions of the Honorable Committee.
This is what we will do. We will get back to it later. Medyo ayusin lang nila. So you can now proceed with the questions, Representative Gutierrez.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, questions directed to this. Mr. Chair, questions.
Yes, please proceed. Comsec, ayusin niyo muna yun. Then later on, we'll go back to proceed with the questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, the questions are directed to TikTok. So, I'm sure we've heard po, Moderna, yung sentiments from the PCG. Would you have any comment po in relation to the so-called first part po na yung proliferating video, given the fake news that China owns Palawan? And then the second point would be on the alleged suppression of journalist postings regarding the Western PC.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, we're grateful to the Honorable Committee for having us today and giving us the opportunity to speak on behalf of TikTok. We do want to address the concerns of the Philippine Coast Guard and the Honorable Congressman here today. Actually, we do not allow misinformation that puts not just individuals at risk of harm, but we also do not allow misinformation that may cause societal harm. We have taken down posts in the past similar to these videos, citing territorial disputes, and we are happy to work with the Honorable Committee in securing links to these videos so we can endorse them to the appropriate teams within TikTok. We have already coordinated with the committee secretary to secure the links so that we can report them accordingly. Because as I said earlier, we have taken action on similar posts in the past. And we'd like to be able to get the opportunity to send this content to our teams for review.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, TikTok, for that response. So, Mr. Chair, in relation to disinformation sources or fake news, the action of TikTok is actually more on the reactionary.
Mr. Chair, we also take proactive measures, especially around misinformation.
misinformation that could cause severe harm. Every video that is posted on the platform undergoes a quick review by our machine technology, by our technology moderation. And that initial pass, that initial sweep of the content, often studies signals for misinformation that could be harmful. Now, we also rely on our independent fact checkers who make an assessment on the accuracy of the information on the platform on certain kinds of content. And we also rely on community reports. So user reports also assist us in spotting misinformation that violate our community guidelines.
Mr. Sorry, let me just clarify one. While I understand that there would be these measures, for example, that you've mentioned, these community moderators, and the review upon posting, this will be actually after the fact that the video is posted, correct?
That's, Mr. Chair, incorrect, actually. Before a video is posted, if you notice, if anybody is familiar with the way that TikTok works, when you post a video, there's a processing time. That processing time is actually the period when the video undergoes technology moderation.
Okay, so there's how much time would that be? Usually I'm familiar with TikTok.
I don't have precise figures around that, Mr. Chair, but rest assured that every video goes through automatic technology moderation.
So when it undergoes automatic technology moderation, when a video has been reported to be a source of fake news, generally, even if through a different user there would be an attempt to repost the video, it should be flagged.
Yes, sir. Let me get back to you on that, Mr. Chair, actually. But one thing that we would love to share to the Honorable Committee is that between July to September, I believe, during a period last year, we removed over 4 million videos that violated our community guidelines. 99.5% of those videos were taken down proactively, and of the remaining percentage, 98% was taken down in less than 24 hours after being reported by users. So we're quite pleased to share that information with the Honorable Committee because we'd like to demonstrate that we are doing everything that we can in terms of our moderation practices to catch posts and to catch content that violate our community guidelines.
Mr. Chair, most respectfully, while we laud the attempts, the measures being taken by TikTok in relation to this, and we appreciate the numbers that are being put forward, one issue that we have really is that anecdotally that doesn't seem to be the case. For example, we're talking about fake news in relation to China. When we see one video posted and it has been reported, we would see the same video posted by a different person. So that's why I wanted to ask if how do we ensure that the video that has been flagged for disinformation is not posted again, and then quite frankly, perhaps we'd have to get all of our evidence on with like to have a research person invited in this, but it tends to be that once there is a narrative being taken by certain bad actors in relation to fake news, it's posted and they take it down and just post it through another user. So I hope you'd understand the frustration that this committee would have in relation to the social media posts, and that's not even going into yet the issue of suppression that our journalists are facing in relation to the territorial dispute of the West Philippine Sea. So in relation to that, if we could move on, Ms. Madera, most respectfully, to the Honorable Chairman, in relation to the suppression, what measures do we have, or are we aware of this suppression of postings in relation to coverage of the West Philippine Sea?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the question. We do not suppress any content that pertains to the West Philippine Sea. We welcome the diversity of political expression, and what we can share is that if a video is muted, there is a possibility that the content may have committed a violation of our guidelines, specifically perhaps around intellectual property. That kind of action, muting a video, is typically something that we do when there is an intellectual property violation. So we want to reassure the Honorable Committee that we do not silence voices that advocate for greater awareness on West Philippine Sea issues.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess we are forced to take that on face value po, no? But as far as anecdotally, if I recall right, the video that was suppressed, I don't think there's an intellectual property issue. That was a coverage of yung journalist po having an altercation with yung counterparts sa China. Walang music naman na nagpo-play doon, eh. Nagmumurahan po sila. So, Mr. Chair, I guess to move forward, to advance, to progress this issue siguro, we can ask the Honorable Comsec to, if we may, Commodore Dela, if you could point us in the right direction kung sinong journalist po ito that were alleged suppressed, we could probably invite them or communicate with them through the committee secretariat, then we can probably have them coordinate with TikTok, and we'll get to the bottom of this at a latter hearing po. Because as it stands, it's going to be anecdote versus general guidelines. So if we're going to get into the specifics, probably at a latter time when the resource person will be available po.
Yes, Mr. Chair, and if I may, we're also happy to engage these personalities, these individuals from the press, to understand their experience. Our technology moderation is very sensitive around audio. And so even though two people might be speaking and just speaking, our moderation technology is able to pick up signals of background audio. And as I emphasized earlier, often when a video is muted, it's not because of the content. If content violates our guidelines, we take them down. If content violates intellectual property rights, quite frequently, the action that is taken is to mute the audio. So we want to reassure the Honorable Committee of that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I guess we'll have to leave that to the discussion at a later time when we have the resource persons available. So, Mr. Chair, I understand my time is up. I had more questions for TikTok, but I'll probably reserve it for the second round. With that, Mr. Chair, I yield the floor. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Secretary Ruiz, as a previous engagement, so this committee has decided that you will be excused. Anyway, Jose Castro will be here content. Thank you for your presence, Secretary Ruiz.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Before we continue, may acknowledge the presence online, Representative Jonathan Flores, Representative Rosio Cruz, and we have some social media personalities who arrived also, or present rather, Mr. Ramon Gerardo San Luis. Are you here? Mr. Manuel Mata Jr. Do we have now the presentation, Comsec? Okay na ba? Hindi pa? Okay, please proceed with the presentation.
At TikTok, we encourage our users to express themselves authentically and creatively in a safe and positive environment. We have a dedicated global trust and safety team that works alongside innovative technology to keep our platform safe and welcoming. From July to October 2024, we
today we gather to confront the troubling and complex reality of our times, the spread of fake news on social media, and the powerful role that repetition plays in shaping what people believe. It has been said that repeat a lie often enough and it becomes a truth. A phrase widely attributed to Joseph Goebbels, the propaganda minister of Nazi Germany. While those words come from a dark chapter in history, they reveal something deeply psychological and disturbingly relevant today. Modern psychologists will call it the illusion of truth effect. When people hear something over and over again, whether it's true or not, they begin to believe it. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity often masquerades as truth. In today's digital world, this effect is supercharged. Social media platforms, algorithms, and virality amplify repetition at unprecedented speeds. And at the heart of this ecosystem are individuals, influencers, who shape the opinion, values, and even the beliefs of millions. That influence carries weight, and with that weight comes responsibility. I believe, Mr. Chair, this hearing is not about silencing voices. It is about understanding how truth and lies compete in our public discourse and what role social media influencers play in tipping the balance. If truth is repeated more often than lies, even by a margin, say 51 to 49%, then truth can prevail. But if lies dominate the feed, even well-intentioned citizens may find themselves misled, manipulated, and misinformed. So today, we have the opportunity to ask tough questions. We seek accountability, and more than that, we call for a shared commitment to making truth more visible, more frequent, and more powerful than the lie. Mr. Chairman, let me begin.
I have a new Facebook account because on February 7, my Facebook was deactivated, so I created a new Facebook was deactivated, so I created a new Facebook account just probably a week ago, or less than a week ago.
Maliban sa Facebook, ano pong mga social media platforms pa ang iyong ginagamit?
I use TikTok but sparingly, that's it.
Tinuturing niyo ba na trabaho in addition to your professional affiliations itong pag-post nyo, paggamit nyo ng social media?
Personally, no, because I don't earn. My accounts are not monetized. But because I'm the social media head of Manila Bulletin, I have to be on top of what's happening on social media.
So you consider, again for the record, na your social media activities in a way complement your professional affiliation with Manila Bulletin?
I would say so is below 500,000 because I don't do lives, I don't do YouTube, I have never gone. I only write on Facebook, that's it. I only write on Facebook, I don't do YouTube, I don't do lives, I don't do podcasts, so
But you're aware that when you're significant, your modest following on Facebook, as you refer to it, gives you a considerable audience to your postings. Are you aware of that?
not more than the others. Yes, I do have a modest following, but not more than the others. I'm not in the level of thinking Pinoy, Sasurgando Sasot, Maharlika. I could still go around. I could still go around, not recognized by people. So no, I'm not an influencer because people don't know me. But I have a voice. Let's put it at that. I have a voice.
But then again, I'll bring back the question. Are you aware of the volume, the size of the audience that are listening or are reading your posts?
Yes, because the measure is the likes, the number of likes. So sometimes I believe, syempre, I don't have proof of that, but in my previous Facebook, I believe that I was shadow banned. So my likes in my 480,000 Facebook was around 5,000, maximum 10,000. Now, this is a new account and I don't think I've been shadow banned yet. I can reach as many as 50,000, even 100,000. So this is the new account.
50,000 is for a single post.
Yes, for this new account.
Mr. Chair, I just want to put on the record that just for to put everything in context, no, that the resource person on many occasions, several instances, if their previous account, and I'm not so sure because I haven't seen the current accounts, have actually written about this representation, has posted, made post against this representation, but I will take the heed, the advice of the good Congressman Marcoleta that we politicians, public servants should not be onion skin, and I will make sure that I'll be as objective as possible with my questions.
Can I reply to that, Mr. Chair?
No, I will continue with my questions, Mr. Chair. Mrs. Crescent, ano po ang klase ng content na inyong pinapost?
Political, personal, lifestyle.
And any of these
Basically, what my life is in the public. Anything food, films. Political is a big part because I am politically inclined. I like talking about politics, but it's not the end all and be all of my account.
how many percent would you consider those would carry political? How many percent of your posts would you consider would carry political themes?
In my own account, probably 70 and 80%. I'm not sure. I don't measure my it's spontaneous and I don't set out to I don't have a quota.
And you attribute this simply because you are
Because I'm very
politically
aware and a very politically passionate, sir.
sa mga content mo, may naalala ka bang pinakamaraming engagements, views, likes, or whatever impressions? Yung pinaka nag-trending na post mo? Papapay.
Sa old account, ang pinaka nag-trending na post was with the death of Stanley. It's not a political post, the death of Stanley, the creator of Marvel. Sa new account, my sadness over PRRD spending his birthday alone in his cell in The Hague.
Yung sa mga political post mo in the previous account, ano po yung pinaka nag-trending?
I don't remember exactly, but it's always about the former president.
So sa tingin mo, bakit nag-trending isang post ni Crescencio?
I don't know. Maybe because people, it resonates with people. Because I have never boosted a post. I have never bought likes or I have never paid to get liked or followed. So I cannot speak for my audience or readers, but it's probably common sense that it resonates with them. readers are for what is considered viral. I don't know.
Or let's say, anong klase ng content naman na, in your experience, ang hindi nagkaroon ng maraming engagement? May naalala ka ba na
It does not, I do not look at how many likes I get. And whether or not they go viral is not very important to me. I write what I write, whether I have one reader or 1,000 readers.
but when you post something, do you also engage with your those who make comments? Do you reply? Have you considered ano yung dominant demographic ng yung audience na usually na papansin? Are these like-minded people? Are these... Is it chair?
Hello? Okay.
Okay na?
Okay. So, I assume that as with any page, you attract like-minded people. So the reason they're on my page is that they read me because they think I think like them. So even with, and it's not just political, even if you have pages for hobbies or entertainment, the people who go to your page are the people who like reading that sort of thing.
And you think this is the reason also why people follow, they like, they comment your post because they agree with your posts?
Probably, yes, I think so.
And you think,
But just to clarify, I also have people who go to my post just to oppose what I say. So it's not as if it's an echo chamber. It's not, because there are people who go to my page and there are people who are trolls. And when you look at their accounts, those are new accounts, locked profiles, and they say the same thing. So it's not there's no echo chamber in today's social media because there are trolls on pages and there are people who oppose what you say.
it's good that you pointed that out, but let me ask, do you think in your engagement with those who are posting, with your post, no, you think that the content of your post actually influence the minds of other social media users? Have you ever found yourself quoted, reposted, shared in other social media accounts?
Yes, they are, but I always maintain that they would not be reading my page if they were not already feeling or thinking what I'm feeling. And a lot of the feedback that I get is that people saying, you articulate what I am feeling, except that I do not have the words or the talent to say that. So I think majority of my readers are those people who want to express their frustrations or express their hopes and are not just I do not have my writing skills.
It's good that you mentioned about feedback. So, have you ever received feedback that people are actually saying it's good that you exposed this, that you wrote about this because I'm learning, I get to know what's happening, I get to understand the issue more?
Yes, but that's not specific to social media. I am an editor, and if I write articles for the newspaper, it's always all the articles that you write, whether they're for social media or for traditional media, you're writing it to expose, inform, entertain, empower.
Let me go back to the social media. Let me limit to the social media posts. agency of the government whatsoever? Remember, you're under oath.
Not that I remember, and I know that I'm under oath. I don't remember anything exposing public. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it as writing my job for Manila Bulletin, not on my page. So I am more protected by my office.
I will go back to the question. Ibig sabihin ba sa social media posts mo, wala kang sinabi na nag-i-expose ka sa sino mang opisyal o ahensya ng gobyerno tungkol sa in the conduct of their official duties?
I don't remember any exposés I've done.
Mr. Chair, is it possible that the committee subpoena Meta for a copy? I understand that Meta keeps a digital copy of all the postings over a considerable time. I move that we subpoena the social media posts of Mrs. Crisette Chua.
There's a motion and a second. Any objection to bring that motion support?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know you're a professional journalist, Crisette, and I know you're well trained and you studied abroad, and you have a good appreciation of what it takes to be a journalist. But by referencing from that, would you describe the extent of your influence? How would you describe the extent of your influence online, and what responsibility do you think comes with that influence?
I am very, I'm not comfy with the idea that I am responsible for something because I just write. As I said, I'm very careful before all these things. Before, sir, Mr. Chair, before I was included in the top 41 vloggers, fake news, poker funded, I have never spoken my politics, not on YouTube, not on Facebook. I just write. So I don't feel like I am an important political commentator. I write what I feel, but I'm not one of those people na people will think about because I have discussed it. I have engaged with other people. I write what I say. I write what I think, and that's it. Sometimes I'll answer the comments on my page, but that's the limit of my political conversation. So if you're going to ask me what I think my influence is, then I cannot answer it. Maybe it's better to ask other people if they're affected by what I write and if they feel like I influence them.
Earlier you mentioned you have a following right now of how many?
About 250.
250,000? And in your previous account, how many?
480,000.
And then in your average impressions for every post is around 10,000, if I'm not mistaken. That's the number you said earlier.
because I'm knowledgeable. I post what I feel. Maybe at the moment, maybe when I'm very angry, I post some things that are more inflammatory than when I'm more calm. But basically, those are my feelings. So, sir, there will be times that I will be more angry towards one politician, but another time, I'm still going to be angry at them.
Let me ask a question. So you mean when you speak something inflammatory on you post something inflammatory on your Facebook account, you don't mind whether people will be influenced by those inflammatory statements or not?
Those are my opinions, and I believe I have very intelligent readers. So if they think that I am lying, they can call me out. If they agree with me because they've used their own eyes, then they can investigate for themselves. Those are my opinions. Those are what I feel. If I say I don't like this person, I stand by it.
So you don't really mind if people, as a journalist, don't you feel that there's a need for you?
I do not use my Facebook page. I do not identify myself.
But earlier you mentioned that you make sure that you apply your journalistic training.
Meaning, I make sure I don't lie. Meaning, I make sure that I do not, even if I am inflammatory, even if I'm angry, it's still not a lie. I'm just more angry in one post than I am in another post. My degree of feeling changes per post, but the content will not change. If I'm angry at one person, it can be because I'm angry at one person, and the next post I'm still angry at them, but not as much. But the reason that I'm angry at them is the same.
Okay. Before I proceed, may I remind the resource persons, when you answer, please address the chair first.
Sir, sorry, okay, sir, Mr. Chair.
Let the interpreter finish the question before you answer. Just a reminder.
Yes, sir, sorry, sir.
In your training for journalism, you major in journalism, right?
Communication arts and publishing, sir.
Are you aware of the psychological phenomenon called the illusion of truth effect?
I'm not sure we discussed it, sir. Mr. Chair.
It means that when a repeated information is repeated again and again, it's likely to be perceived as true regardless of the factual accuracy.
Okay, sir.
For the record, let me ask, have you ever unknowingly or knowingly repeated content that turned out to be false or misleading? Have you ever? In the course of your posting, have you ever repeated?
Knowingly, no, unknowingly, I am not sure.
Mr. Chair, answer because I would like to draw your attention to this post dated March 13 under her new account present to me as the secretariat to flash it on the screen, where the resource person posted, and I'll read the first paragraph. May mga pulis at military daw na nagre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot be part of this government daw. Crescent, Mrs. Crescent, would you confirm that this account is yours?
Yes, sir. And, Mr. Chairman, let's not fake news because there were and kindly, sir,
Mr. Chair,
finish the post, sir. Finish the kasi nakakayaan
As I've said, please let the representative finish the question first before you answer. Let us observe proper decorum.
so this is your Facebook account.
Yes, sir.
Did you post this?
Yes, sir. I
And
posted
in this first page, the first paragraph, you stand by your statement that you said na marami, let me read it verbatim, na may mga pulis na military daw na magre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot be part of this government daw. Tama po ba?
yes, sir. And then
Saan
kindly
niyo po ang informasyon na to?
sir, if you go on TikTok, there are policemen.
How many policemen?
Sir, I'm not counting, but there are many policemen. And that's a general impression,
But
sir.
you said marami. So you just
Marami,
post
sir.
it on the basis of a single
Yes, sir.
2 or 3 posts?
Yes, sir. I will not count all of it, but there's a general impression, sir. And sir, if you read all my content,
Let me ask a question and I'll give you the chance to answer. Have you ever made an effort to
sir, because there were already policemen, and I am sure our policemen can also say that there were policemen that are on TikTok that are voicing out their if they have like feelings. So if you could kindly sir read the rest. So kasi nahihiya po ako kasi may mga police dito.
I just want to stand by your opinion. The next succeeding paragraph sa iyo, the opinion of the resource person. I just want to stick to the factual statements you made. And that's basically saying that maraming pulis at military daw ang magre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot be part of this government. And apparently, the resource person, Mr. Chair, has gotten this information from other social media posts. And on a critical matter such as this, Mr. Chair, she did not make any effort, well, unless you're contesting it, any effort.
Now, Mr. Chair, number one, I made sure to put the word down because no policeman has ever come up to me. Well, before, but it was in my book when they would talk about their discontent.
Earlier you said you don't want to write a lie.
Yeah, and that's not a lie, sir. That's not a lie, sir.
The resource person, naniniwala ka ba sa katotohanan? As a journalist,
Of course.
ang pagsasabi ba ng hindi totoo, hindi pagsasabi ng katotohanan, tama, di ba?
Mr. Chair, those are the impressions, not
No, I'm asking you, because I want to test if we have the same idea of what truthful is.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hindi
Mr.
pagsasabi
Chair.
ng totoo ay hindi pagsasabi ng katotohanan, di ba?
Yes,
Ang
Mr.
hindi
Chair, and I
pagsasabi ng
maintain.
totoo ay kasinungalingan. Tama?
Yes, sir, and I
Ang
maintain and speak the
pagsasabi
truth.
ng half-truth ay pagsasabi din ng kasinungalingan.
I am maintaining that I am speaking the truth of the impressions made on social media.
Okay.
Thank you, sir,
I don't
Mr.
want to
Chair.
argue with your position, Mr. Chair, but I just want to bring the attention of the committee to a news article showing the official position of the PNP. Can we flash that on? Can we flash that on the screen? Object, plus the this is a press release. I think this is a news article from, if I'm not mistaken, from the Philippine Star, saying basically, according to the spokesperson of the PNP, hindi daw totoo ang nasasabing mass resignation ng mga miyembro ng PNP. Tiyak po ang pagkakasabi na walang isang miyembro ng PNP ang nagbitiw mula sa kanilang posisyon pagkatapos ng pagka-aresto ni President Duterte. Pinabulaanan nga po niya ang ilang partikular na mga post at larawan na kumakalat sa social media tungkol dito. So have you read this article after your post?
Mr. Chair, no, I have not read that article. And Mr. Chair, this article exactly affirms what I said earlier, that the mass impression of laymen like us, civilians like us, that there were mass resignations. The fact that the PNP,
Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, you just said you do not share lies on your post,
sir,
diba?
sir, I shared, Mr. Chair, that's what I said. Kaya ako nag-include lang daw, these were impressions. The fact, sir, that our PNP had to write a press release means wala kaming statistics. These were the impressions that were coming to us.
So you're saying that this is something
Sir,
that
can I
you just...
also finish?
Okay.
It's not fair here.
Okay, Mr. Chair, does it mean that you have simply written this post
information, it means that they are correcting the general impression of masses like us. The fact that they had to write it means that there's a general impression, and to our policeman here, I would like to
And when you make
address you
those,
that
Mr. Chair, when you make those impressions, you don't have any regard whether now you find yourself apologizing to the policeman
Sir,
here.
the
So you
reason I
need
am
to make an
apologizing is
effort.
because my post was
Mr.
not
Chair.
allowed. Mr. Chair, could you
Point of
just
order.
please give me time to explain? Because it's been
Mr. Chair, in accordance with our rules, as I've said earlier, this will be the third time that I'm telling all the resource persons, let the interpolator finish the question first. And in fact, if I impose the rule strictly, resource persons can only speak until I recognize you. So, pwede lang tapusin niyo yung tanong bago kayo sumagot para hindi tayo magkakaroon rito.
Babalikan ko yung tanong ko. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kasi sa dami ng followers ninyo, in putting out information or posting items such as what has been presented before this committee, are you saying categorically that you do not feel any responsibility for the weight and for the consequences of your posts?
Can I answer now?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I am saying that I am merely writing about what I see as the pulse of the masses, which is that they were afraid that there were policemen. That's why also I am very careful that I said down, 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 down. And to our honorable policeman, I'm not apologizing because I wrote that. I'm apologizing because you don't know the context of what I wrote. And what I wrote was, please don't resign, because if you really want to make a difference in our country, you can best do it from the inside. It was not a condemnation of people who were resigning, but a reminder that if you're given a rare opportunity to change something that you do not like, do
I
it
think, Mr.
from the
Chair,
inside.
I think, Mr. Chair, the resource person is not answering the question because we want to focus solely on those first two statements, which I think carries a significant weight. Yung pagsasabi na maraming pulis ang nag-resign at nagbibitiw, whether it's tao or what, we're presenting a scenario that could be harmful even to national security. And in fact, if you ask me, personally, there should have been legal consequences for this. I don't know. We have a representative from PNP, so we can hear from it. Mr. Chair, do we have somebody from
Yes, General Dela, can you please
General,
answer?
Mr. Chair, General Torre, have there been any incident of massive resignations following the arrest of the former president?
If the qualification for the word massive, sir, is more than the normal, then there's none, sir. But for there are regular resignations, but it's not connected to this issue, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What I'm trying to point out, Mr. Chair, is kung hindi ang isang social media influencer or somebody who uses social media doesn't feel responsible for one's postings, no? At even doesn't consider that whatever effect it may have on the minds of many others na nagbabasa o nakakabasa dun sa mga post niya, I think, Mr. Chair, we're treading in dangerous ground here. Kasi clearly, an audience of 10,000 per post is no small following. And I think, whatever the circumstances are, it's incumbent upon those who use social media to take responsibility for their postings, especially when such matter actually affect national security and affect our society as a whole. And I think in this case, under the canons of journalism, especially that Mrs. Crisette Chu is a journalist by profession, that there should be a clear demarcation between personal posts, especially what should determine, I think, Mr. Chair, should be the content of the post rather than who the one writing is. And especially in the case of Mrs. Crisette Chu, her being a journalist, make sure that a serious journalist, as she mentioned, will not publish rumors, because basically the way she explains it is that she has made this post on the basis of social media rumors. And the ones who publish social rumors are actually those who are showbiz reporters. So the article on the resignation, and then you can see on the following post, there has been no effort, Mr. Chair, to actually verify. May I ask the resource person again, Mr. Chair, after learning, have there been any efforts on your part to rectify or to correct the impression that you said you articulated in your social media post?
Mr. Chair, can I answer this, sir? He's belaboring the point that this is news. It was not news. The reason I said down, was that it was not news, but for me, that if this was true, and you can read it in my post, if totoo ito, please don't do it. I did not say, you can make a difference, you can make a distinction if you were trained in journalism between establishing something and saying, if this is true, please don't do it, and announcement. Many policemen have resigned. That's the difference. I wanted to predicate what I wrote with something that was down, because it was a reminder to our policemen that please do not leave us, please think it through, that you can do more inside. So sir, for me it was more an opinion piece based on the general impression of when I wrote it.
So now it's an opinion piece, Mr. Chair. That's how she's referring
on
it.
Facebook or opinion pieces.
So, Mr. Chair, this would be my last point. Would you agree, Mrs. Crisette, if you would, I would be so direct, that what you've written on your post is simply somebody's ranting, sensationalizing a rumor heard on social media without no effort to verify, with simply the effort to create some questions or to insinuate a situation that would actually affect national security. Because that's how you explained it. You simply sensationalized a rumor you heard online without even taking the effort to verify, and without considering the possible effects on national security on the matter that is very sensitive given the political situation of the country right now. And you feel no responsibility whatsoever to the 10,000 impressions or readers that we have who may be influenced by the opinions that you raised. You really don't care about what people will do or say or think after reading your post. Is that correct, Mrs. Crisette?
Mr. Chair, I will reply now. Okay, sir, I do not feel any responsibility because my conscience is clear. It was not phrased as news. It was something.
Mr. Chair, I agree na. I'm not saying I agree with what you're saying. It's not news. But you simply sensationalized on social media a rumor that you've heard or read or whatsoever without any effort to verify it as a responsible social media user, and without consideration that even your following, the people who read and actually listen to you on a matter that's sensitive to national security.
Mr. Chair,
Alam kung anong gagawin at iisipin ng mga tao, basta sinulat ni Crisette Chu, naniniwala yung mga tao, bahala maniwala sila, hindi. Wala akong pakialam doon.
Mr. Chair, may I already reply?
ginawa lang niya yung chismis sa social media. Diba? Tapos ginawa niya ng buong kwento na yung mga police, this and that. That I would leave it to you because that's your opinion, calling on the police for whatever. But I'm asking you now that the police itself, the police organization, officially, and General Torre has now confirmed that, saying that there has been no mass resignation. Are you willing to rectify? Because many would have read your statement and read it without the doubts. Maybe some people actually, we have more than 30 clippings of your post, and people in their comments actually take in your statements as truthful. No, you're presented with an example that your statement has been debunked officially by the police, and General Torre was here with us. Are you still not willing to correct yourself officially?
Sir, Mr. Chairman, in my training for journalism, that is very important, sir.
Mr. Chair, the problem with our resource person is she claims to be a journalist whenever it's convenient and a private person whenever it's convenient. And if you go back to my opening, my manifestation earlier, Mr. Chair, that's actually the problem that we have today. You have people who are able to amplify issues without being bound by the canons of journalism. Diba? So bakit nga ng comentaristang sabihin yan on air, on radio, kung hindi yan matanggal yung licenses of ABP and our social media influence, well, not everyone, but those who are able to peddle on sensationalized news or rumors on the basis of mere rumors, and I'm not want any accountability. Don't even think, as the resource person has said, Mr. Chair, doesn't even feel responsible for the consequences of her statements. And I think we're treading in dangerous grounds here. Because as I said earlier, something that you repeat over and over again, for someone who has a following of 10,000 per impressions per post, 100,000, following 500,000 for previous account and 200,000 in this current account, that's something that should be considered. Where do we draw the line between one statement and the accountability that he or she must bear for her readers? If this was a matter, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to wind it up now, that affects my person, I wouldn't really mind, because I think being criticized openly comes with the job that we have. It comes with being elected to public office. But when it is a matter of national security, when it is a time when the country should be protected rather than weakened by all this misinformation and disinformation, I think we need to draw the line. But I think that's all for my question, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, respectfully po, this is what I would like to say, is why a lot of people are afraid to speak out and are afraid of this.
Mr. Chair,
Kasi yung sinasabing prior restraint na parang natatakot kami to speak out. Because sir, people are watching us, the Filipinos are watching us, and they
Mr.
know
Chair.
we're not stupid, sir. They know what
Mr. Chair,
right now, what we say right now.
Why do you feel threatened now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, because, sir, may I, yes, sir, may you comment now, sir.
I don't think we are harassing you.
Sir, not you, sir. Mr. Asidre, sir. Because, sir, may I just share that we have a history, because we are both from Leyte.
anyway,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, you already, Mr. Chair, you may
I think Representative Basit has already finished his calculation. So,
Mr. Chair, I already said in my opening statement that whatever she posted many things about me, but I would not discuss that. But I think, because I think criticism like that, however unfair it is, comes with the territory of public service. But for someone to comment on
sure your supporters in your district in Manila know, if somebody you love or support is attacked or investigated, it hurts you. But sir, I'm just being honest because I don't remember that I said anything about you. I'm just saying that I'm sure that maybe there were. I'm not sure, sir. I'm sorry. I don't think I've said anything bad
Mr.
about
Chair,
you.
I will not belabor anymore on what she said about me, no. But I just would like to reiterate what Congressman Jude has been saying all along. You said, you're a journalist, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not a journalist.
Yes, sir.
And you said a while ago that you write what you feel. Am I right?
On my Facebook, sir, not on my job.
Yeah, you said, you write what you feel. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I do not need to be a journalist to write what I feel. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So why do you always say you're a journalist?
Because they asked me, sir, what I